In this video, I'm going to be going over things only original ARK players will remember Part 4. It's crazy we've already gotten to Part 4, but people seem to be really enjoying the series, and I enjoy making videos on it, And I managed to find a bunch of more stuff that I completely forgot. I was going back watching a bunch of old videos, like old Slipgator videos and stuff, and it's brought back a bunch of memories, so I've got a huge list for this video. And the first one is the one I've been playing with the footage of in the background here, is that you couldn't land with flyers. The flyers could land themselves, but you couldn't be on them when you landed them. So basically, if you just went to land, it would kick you straight off, and the flyer, instead of just immediately landing, it would go fly off somewhere, and it would be really annoying because you'd have to go chase it down. Sometimes it would automatically land, sometimes it would just fly off really far, and yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm glad they added a landing for this one. And the next one is that fish meat didn't used to exist. If you killed a fish or a quail or something, you didn't get raw fish meat like you do now. You just got raw meat, just like everything else. So pretty much raw fish didn't exist. It was just raw meat in the game, and that was all you could get. And raw fish was eventually added at some point later, but they didn't have that. You just had to use raw meat for everything. And then we have the Taming Meter. Now when you go to tame something and you put its stuff in its inventory, you can see a little progress bar that has a percentage. But before, the progress bar would go up and there'd be no percentage. As you can see right here, it would just say taming ... and you'd never know how much it would actually need to go up. I remember when they added the percent bar, I was so happy to actually be able to see the exact percentage of when it was taming. After that, we have the old combat music, and now you have combat music for every different biome, and every different biome has different music depending on the time of day, whether it's day or night. But it literally just used to be the combat music for day and then nighttime, and I definitely remember the sound of it. It's actually still in the game. You can find it in some different biomes, but it's like a different remix version of it, and then I'll let it play out here so you can hear it. But the thing is, I can't, no matter what I do, try and get the original version of it. But I do have the version that's currently in the game. It's really similar, but it's not exactly the same. But I'll let it play out because it is pretty similar. And yeah, that track is absolutely amazing, and of course it is still in the game, but originally that one was the one you'd always hear when you were getting attacked. There was the nighttime one too, which I'll have playing in the background probably for the rest of this video. But moving on to the next thing is that max levels used to be 120. There was no 150s. 150s did not exist. It was just the 120, and that was the max level of all the creatures. And I believe they changed it when the center came out. And I think, don't quote me on this because I'm not entirely sure, but I think 150s were only on the center for a little bit before they eventually came to every map. I could be wrong on that though. And then we have the old crafting sounds. We talked about the old HUD, but with the old HUD there was the old crafting sounds as well, which I didn't really talk about. But of course, every time I hear these sounds, it brings me right back to when I first started playing, so I'll let those sounds play out. And then we have the old ladders. Now when you climb the ladder, there's actually, like an animation of you climbing up the ladder, but before there was no animation. You didn't see your arms or anything. You'd kind of just float up the ladder until you got up to the top. There was none of this animation. I don't really have any footage of it, so you're just going to have to trust me on this one, but I'm pretty sure old players will definitely remember before the animation when you just would float up the ladders. But then another old thing is the icons for when you were hot or cold, or when you had some sort of like buff or debuff or whatever. They were all in the bottom left instead of the bottom right. And now they're at the bottom right next to your health stats and all that stuff, and then they kind of like stack up. But before they were all just on the left, and I don't know, they just changed it when up there. I think it was when they changed the HUD, but I might be wrong on that. I do remember when they changed it though, because it's kind of just a random change. They just moved it from the left to the right, but it definitely used to be on the left, as you can see here. This next one I don't really remember because I wasn't playing this long ago, but the old Gunpowder. Basically, Gunpowder looks like this now, as most people do know, but when the game first came out, it looked like this, just like a clump of like gray ash. It's just a little bit of a difference, but I thought I'd throw it in there for the people that have been playing since the very beginning, so that you can tell the difference between Gunpowder, because it did definitely look different back then. And finally, I have the dossiers. Now, in order to get dossiers, you have to go find it in a Helena Walker note, and you'll find them all across the map. But before, you just got them from killing the dinosaur or whatever. I think taming it or killing it, you would get the dossier for it, which is kind of how it works with DLC creatures on custom maps. Like if you go to like Lost Island and get like an Amargasaurus tamed or killed, you get the dossier for it. it kind of worked like that basically for all the dinosaurs before they eventually added all the dossier notes and stuff. But yeah, make sure to comment if you have any more. There's been 4 parts now, so I assume I've gotten quite a lot of stuff. So, of course, there probably definitely is more stuff to talk about. So if you do have anything else you want me to put in one of these lists, make sure to comment it down below, because I might do part 5 eventually. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. Thanks for watching, and bye.